never educate powerless people in what they need to take the power away from them. The aim of powerful people is to stay powerful by any means necessary.
Spiritual life is the bouquet of natural life, not a supernatural thing imposed upon it. And so the impulses of nature are what give authenticity to life. Not obeying rules come from a supernatural authority.
Why are the people starving? Because the rulers eat up the money in taxes. Therefore, the people are starving. Why are the people rebellious? Because the rulers interfere too much. Therefore, they are rebellious. Why do the people think so little of death? Because the rulers demand too much of life. Therefore, the people take death lightly. Having little to live on, one knows better than to value life too much.
Yeah, we're on the cutting edge, IRFM. Okay, we're going to get into the meat of the matter, you know. We say we want to label this program as the origin of things. The origin of things, you know. We have a whole heap of different concepts and ideas about certain things, and we never really wonder where them things they come from. You know, where we get these things from, you know. Concepts like the bottomless pit, like Hell's Gate, like, you know, brimstone and fire, and this devil and this God who is not the author of evil. Well, so a whole heap of people say, but it don't say so in the Bible still. But yeah, there's a whole heap of things we get conditioned over the years, but we never really understand where them come from. Where people get these ideas about there is a place, a lake of fire, where your soul will be damned in hell for eternity. Where we get all these thinking from? Where did the swastika originate? You know, we say Hitler and him friend them, you know, have this sign, this swastika sign. Where it come from? The story about Samson. What is the origin of this story about Samson? The ankh. You know, we talk about the ankh all the while, but don't want to even say it again, because we hear people say about his devil symbol. Where did the ankh symbol come from? Where did the cross come from? Osiris. If you know about Egyptian mythology, you know about Osiris, Isis, and Horus, you know, Set and all these things. We want to give you an understanding of these things tonight. But before we go in it, we still want to give you the origin of our next thing. You know, we're going to go in it, we want to tell you, you know, we want to say something here, because something really I find very strange today. I hear today that there is a group of Pakistani footballers who went to Afghanistan to play football. And this is a Muslim state. But you know, it's a weird thing, because everybody knows a football player that shorts. Well, obviously, you can't play football. Man not supposed to wear shorts in Afghanistan. So guess what them do now? Them take the Pakistanians, them. This is a serious thing, you know. This come over the news. This is not Muta make this up. Because I know every time I talk certain things, people say make it up. Look here now. This come over the news, right? I heard it on the news report, the sports report. The Pakistani footballers went to Afghanistan to play football. Pakistan, Afghanistan. Afghanistan is a Muslim state. Men are not supposed to expose their legs in Afghanistan. But then you invite the people them come to your country, and everybody knows the football player shot. Well, here what now? Them arrest the Pakistani footballers for indecent exposure and cut off the whole of them ear. Who what a thing? Cut off the whole of the man them ear. I don't know where them ear have to do. I mean, I say them ear, and I mean the ear from them head, you know. Them shave the man them. No, I don't know what the ear from them head have to do with them having shots. And everybody knows a football playing a shot, but apparently them play football in a baggy pants. It reminds me very much of a sunsplash that was held in Malaysia, where a brethren did actually take off his shirt by the stage, and he was warned. He was warned by the authorities that those behavior is not permitted in these parts of the world. This was in Malaysia. I remember clearly. The brethren was performing on a sunsplash, and the brethren take off his shirt, and he was warned by the authorities that that is indecent exposure. You can't come through the airport without shirt or with certain looking clothes. I remember I going through there. Well, it's the airport still. I walked through there without shoes. That was something else. But it's a serious thing. Imagine they invite a man in your country to play football. You don't tell him what is the criteria for play. But when the man starts playing, you arrest the man. Spin decent exposure and say, I wear shorts for the field and cut off them ear. But I don't know, that deserve a war, you know. Yeah, that deserve war. War between Pakistan and Afghanistan. That's a serious thing. Because man fight over less than that already. War has been fought for less than that. You can't see the big man them in your little primitive mentality and thinking. So we don't know. The woman them who are watching football match now, what them I don't know. Them have orgasms because them I watch the man them leg for the football field. I don't know the woman who have orgasm because them I watch football. Well, I don't know really, but I mean that is more than unlikely, you know. Anyway, it's a serious thing. But what I want to tell the people them, you know, years ago, a tape come up in Jamaica, you know, there was a tape, and I remember distinctly, about 5 years ago, me and some brethren have an argument over the tape. You know, the tape in question is a tape with a brethren talking to a little girl, or a little girl supposed to be interviewing a brethren on it. Now, because of what the contents of the tape, a lot of brethren in Jamaica was saying that is a little girl interviewing Haile Selassie. No, I remember this thing, and I go to call him name too, and I hope the other brethren who was with him. I remember Risto Benji. Well, I'm Risto Benji, a long time I don't hear from you, know. Long time I don't hear from Risto Benji. It's a serious thing. A long time I don't hear from Risto Benji. But Risto Benji have a brethren. Risto Benji have a brethren. Risto Benji have a brethren who, when we hear from the show, them come along my shop and they say, boy, Muta, we have a tape here, you know, and you have to play this tape. Because this tape here are the greatest tape with His Majesty on it. I talk to this little girl. All of them go to Canada and all these things. So I say, all right. You know, me a man now, before me play the tape, I like hear it. Me want to hear the tape before I play the tape on the radio. Because, you know, anyway, I put in the tape, in the cassette, and I listen to the tape, and I turn to the brethren, and I say, brethren, this is no Haile Selassie Rasta. The man him say, oh, you mean no Haile Selassie? You're the man Rasta. I said, no, I know Haile Selassie that Rasta. That is a brethren from the Caribbean. As you hear him accent, you know, say him come from the Caribbean. Them say, the brethren look at me and say, they don't know, say His Majesty can talk any language and any accent. I say, look, you know, I don't know illusion about His Majesty in Rasta. This tape is not a tape of His Majesty's talking. And furthermore, the brethren and the tape talking about Canada and all these things. And I don't know if His Majesty go through an airport and nobody don't know. Or can His Majesty go to Canada and authorities don't know. And the brethren them wrote, as a matter of fact, the brethren go as far as tell me, say, me I deny the power of Haile Selassie by saying I know Haile Selassie upon the tape. Well, you know, I'm going to play a part of the tape. And I want to tell you something, I have a shock for you, know. I have a shock for you, know. The person that is talking on the tape is in the studio with me tonight, and it's not Haile Selassie. It's not Haile Selassie. So, we want to play, not to put in this tape, we want to play a part of the tape. I pity I can't tape the tape with the tape or tape. I have to take out this tape and play this tape, because this tape not going to tape when this tape is taped in. It's a serious thing. Oh, we want to play a tape. We want to play the tape and look a part of the tape. Here you go.
Your Majesty, if there is really a God, why does He not speak to us?
Your question is a very complex one, of which we are greatly concerned. Firstly, it is necessary to note that there are many gods. Anyone or anything that is worshipped is called God, or a god. The Almighty Creator, on the other hand, is higher than the word God. The positive force is the God of all gods. And because this force is of the order of perfection, we will never qualify for the spoken omnipresence unless we raise our morality, readdressing ourselves to our original sense of values, to that which is paramount and supreme. Maintaining a balanced attitude, eating natural foods, and by obeying and observing all the commandments of the Holy Scriptures. In other words, we will be able to recognize our Father's voice, as has been proven by we ourselves and by our forefathers and by all the conquering lions of Judah, from Abraham as from Adam, right down to us in our time.
Your Majesty, what do you think about the devil?
We don't understand your question. We don't consider the negative force worthy of our thought wave. But it is only obvious that without such a force, the ambitions, powers of man would be limited, and there would be no temptations, no turning points, no bridges to cross, and no death. Therefore, there would obviously have to be no births, or else the earth would soon be crowded, and maybe many people could not get the chance to be here today. And there would be no balanced equilibrium.
All right, the tape in question. We know a whole heap of brethren, Waterhouse, Jews Land, Seaview Gardens, and enough man have that tape here play. We know brethren all over Vineyard Town, everywhere have that tape here play. The little girl say, His Majesty, Your Majesty, and everyone now put it to you. Now we have put it to you, say, that voice is not the voice of Haile Selassie. Man condition them thinking and them mind to believe these things, because they want to believe that Haile Selassie talk these ways. Brethren, good night, sir.
Blessed.
The brethren, which part of the brethren come from?
We grew up in Barbados.
They grew up in Barbados. Yes. The origin of this tape, we want the eye tell the ones them out there, because I know the eye is concerned about the tape.
Yes, we're greatly concerned, you know.
Yeah. Tell me the eye concerned.
The tape was created 13 years ago here in Jamaica. It was really an experiment, a royal experiment. And certain friends of ours got copies of the tape. And then after a few years, we heard the tape played all over the place, and people claiming it to be His Imperial Majesty, which is really not, it wasn't our intention to mislead the public at the time the tape was created, right? Actually, we made a tape on very mediocre.
Well, as you can hear it, it's kind of...
Yeah, very mediocre material, right? And we thought it was great at the time, and we still think it's a nice tape, but we didn't figure that people would carry it all over the place and assume it to be the Emperor. Actually, my name is Majesty. Majesty Elohim Chalaka. So, the word Your Majesty in the tape
is really your name.
Is really I, you know? Yeah.
All right. You know, it's really weird to know that people want to believe what they want to believe, and I mean, I better tell you the honest truth, it causes a whole heap of friction, because there are some Rasta fanatics in Jamaica.
Exactly.
Who will curse your mother, curse you, and curse everybody because you don't accept a perspective that them pushing. You see, when the brethren them come on my shop with this tape, and I tell them, say, brethren, I'm not playing this tape on the radio, you know. The man them curse me, you know. Yeah, them curse me because them say, me don't want the people them hear the truth about what Haile Selassie I say. Me say, but brethren, Haile Selassie don't talk this way. And the brethren them insist, say, but Haile Selassie can change up him accent to suit any occasion and all these things. I mean, I say, but wait, them man, it's me, it's not a Rasta, it's them man, is mad. Because now, it is a want to make you start question yourself now, say, well, maybe you're not Rasta because you're not believing in the powers of Haile Selassie.
It's a serious thing. It's a serious thing, yeah.
And here's the brethren now who do the tape. You know, I remember the last reason and a half, you know, was some brethren up at my shop that we had tell him, say, no, brethren, if you listen to the tape, you know, say that brethren from the Caribbean. You know, actually I didn't believe it was a Trinidadian virgin and do it still.
Yeah, the tape was a royal experiment.
Yeah.
You know?
When you say royal experiment, what did it really have in mind to do? I mean...
The illusion or the imagination was to try to bring to light what His Majesty would possibly be thinking on certain issues.
Okay.
So we fast for a while.
So who's the little girl? Who's the little girl on the tape?
The little girl became my wife. After.
Really, we're going to come back to that. We're going to come, little girl become your wife. All right, we're going to come back to that.
Hey, Winston, what?
We're unraveling a mystery here. So this the origin of things we're calling this program. Now, as we was talking about, for those of you who just join us, there's a tape that is circulated amongst certain brethren, Rasta brethren, with a brethren on it talking to a girl, a little girl. We're going to hear no say not a little girl, no. A lot of Rastas believe that His Majesty was interviewed by a little girl. Well, we have the brethren who was on the tape, in the studio with us, trying to tell us now how the tape originate. So we reached a part where we were saying, no, I was asking, who was the girl on the tape? And he was saying, no, the girl eventually become your wife.
Yes.
So it's really not a little girl by the tape.
Exactly.
It's not a little girl.
At that time, she was a school person, a person going to school.
How old?
Approximately 15 years old, 16 years old.
Okay. All right. I married to her eventually.
Yeah.
Why? Is how things go? That is the creation of mythology, you know.
Exactly.
That is how mythologies are created. Understand? And this is a good example of how certain things get handed down to us in biblical terms. You know, people pass on one thing as fact. The thing we get repeated, is it more it become a fact.
Right.
And as with the brethren, same just do it as an experiment.
Yes, it was an experiment.
I refer to myself as His Majesty, and I say, so the I name.
My name is Majesty Elohim Telaka.
Majesty
Elohim Telaka.
Okay.
Right? The imagination at the time was a young person interviewing an emperor or interviewing the spirit of the emperor.
Okay.
That was the illusion at the time the tape was created. But as we said before, the tape was created as an experiment. You know? There are times in life when people experiment with different things. Some people experiment with animals. Some people experiment with birds, all kind of things.
Yeah.
Well, at that time in our history, we were experimenting with personality. Royal personality.
Okay.
Black royalty.
Okay.
And the information that came out on the tape is really, really powerful.
Yeah, well, it's powerful information. You know, the information is not in question. Is why, you see, when Rastas listen to it, when these Rastas listen to it, they are feeling that they have the same thinking. They are sharing the same sentiments.
Right.
But to hear it coming now from Haile Selassie to them, validate it more in their thinking.
Right.
See, a man wants to know that Haile Selassie say what him thinking of. All right, Risto Benji there on the line. All right, we have to put Risto Benji because this is one of the brethren them who was with the brethren who me I talk about, who was cussing me because I said it's not Haile Selassie.
Yes.
So I'll put him on the radar. You see, Rastas have a whole heap of things in their mind, just like any other people who relate to certain religious and spiritual connection. So, to validate what them say, or validate what him say, him really need to hear something else about what him say.
Exactly.
Now, if he hear a tape, and a little girl talk about His Majesty, it really feel good in himself. It's like it make him feel good to know, say, right, to hear His Majesty. I said the same thing when me having in my mind.
The serious thing.
You see? But in ignorance now, in terms of dialect, you see? It's ignorance now, you know. You can't reach ignorance now when you hear the dialect, you know. And a man who know His Majesty dialect would know say that is not His Majesty.
Right.
But because you are in the illusion.
Most man place no limitation on His Majesty.
That is what I have to know.
Right.
If thou place in an illusion now, if thou place no limitation for His Majesty.
Yes.
So he must say now His Majesty can conjure up a dialect or an accent that suit anybody.
Right.
So when him hear it now, him say, and then His Majesty that, and you don't believe it now, him declare you false, Rasta.
Right. And we're not denying that His Majesty most likely have all this power. But the fact remains is that it was not the Honorable Emperor that made the tape.
Yes.
That is the fact.
Okay. All right. Continue. Blessed, my lord.
Blessed.
Yes, Aile.
Oh, you do, sir? Long time ago, hear from you.
See?
You threw me away?
Yeah, I'm more straight, man. I listen to you all the time.
Risto Benji, you threw me away, man.
No, man, I'm for do that, man.
All right, brethren. Welcome to your brethren.
Oh, Irene.
The brethren in question will bring the tape.
Yeah, I want to say, I know better idea here, I'm going to shout him, you know.
Him
I like him all the pass out and he must be up on the road and deal with some things together, some strength.
Oh, so you're not getting in contact with him?
No.
But I love him hear this reasoning.
But the word sounds still. As well I say, every good word come from Haile Selassie still.
Yes, yes.
You see what I say?
Yes.
But even the individual we are speaking, probably honor His Majesty, just like how Haile Selassie work through the eye.
Yeah, well, no. So what is in question now is that I remember the brethren, I and him nearly fall out feet.
Sure.
Because I did tell him, say, I now played on the radio because it's not His Majesty. The eye was there too.
Sure.
The I call it there?
Aye.
Down at Dumfries Road.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, well, no, this virgin have clarified the whole thing. Say, the little girl, as we did, I said, the girl pan it, became his wife. Is the virgin sit down in front of him, is his wife, and him attack pan tape.
Yeah?
Yes. So we want, yes. So we want put that tape to rest now.
Yeah.
The clarification of that tape circulating in Jamaica, that voice is the voice of His Majesty. We want to put that to rest.
Not sure.
Because the brethren who make the tape is sitting down right in front of him. Majesty name.
Haile, but the Haile Selassie give him such power still.
No, wait, man. Haile Selassie give everybody power, man. Don't complicate it again, you know, Benji.
Yeah.
Don't complicate the issue again, you know, Benji. Yeah, we just have say the voice. We're not talking about what is said.
Yeah, the voice, the individual.
The individual who make the tape is not Haile Selassie. It's not the one. Yeah. So Benji, for the light alone now, how the eye do?
Yeah, man, I have some, I hear the new thing them.
No. So nobody not, so you don't come on my shop, come give me no record again.
It's like,
well, you think I'm not going to play?
But I told me the Abuja I do some work. You know, hear the thing when them 50 prisoners them broke out.
Give me a little piece of it, no?
The one I say, right now, this time I feel worry about. And the 50 prisoner when me here broke out. Right now, and this time I feel worry about. And cut them broke out, I them get paid for let them out. Right now, this time I feel worry about. And the 50 prisoner when me here broke out. Right now, and this time I feel worry about. And cut them broke out, I them get paid for let them out. No, Commissioner Police better open him mouth. Ask the police them if them sell out, and ask the soldier man them if them buy out, and ask the water them if them have to cat and mouse, cause it seems like bad man rub butt up on them out, and them carry them in, that mean that them let them out. How comes me here 50 prisoner broke out? That's why me have fish out, that one your name right now. Is that what I say? And them carry them in, that mean that them let them out.
Yes, Benji, them what they are licked, Yes.
Because I know you're not DJ. And the little one when the elephant man, them run some serious joke from where they
No, you know, Benji. No, Benji. Hear me say to elephant man now. He must have watchman foot.
Hear this.
He must have watchman foot.
Them not talk no lyrics, cause them not have no good punchline, no good topic. Them sick. None of them not talk no lyrics. The whole of them attack and miss. Have a little DJ when name keep rich. Where they me him do a idiot music. But Selassie I that and no Selassie I this. And no care pretend did I take a trip and when him looking at the ship no Beanie Man I steer it. Tell me if elephant man them no sick. I watch Beanie Man football save a drumstick. And I go like a Beanie Man him want to kiss. Tell me if I truth and tell me if I lie. This is the elephant man I move like a guy cause him I watch Muta foot and I watch Arkai eye. And I talk about Fargo Vice, not for try about.
No. Yes, Benji. Yes, Benji. You're working with that one. You're working. Hey.
Anyway, me see them man, red sound, I go lick them man.
So wait there. Benji.
Yeah.
Where you there with them lyrics there? Over there. Them lyrics are the very
certain thing, them are giving enough fight, man.
No, man, nobody not giving enough fight, man. Drop them. Wait, you produce out there really while you're Benji, you know.
You don't know, we have to get them out. A man like you have to expose certain things onto the world. That's what I say.
Well, I tell you.
The eye now get the right ear play with the eye fair get, you know.
That's how it go.
I tell you the truth, you know.
We not complain. We not complain.
The eye word sound them is powerful, but we give thanks to the little that we hear.
Truth.
Because the little that I and I have is better than the riches of many wicked and fool out there.
Benji.
You see?
Me love them two lyrics there.
Yeah, man.
Where you say 50 prisoner bus out, I want them to water them sell out.
Yeah. And them broke out, them can't just broke out.
They must have drink too much stout. They must have drink too much stout.
You see what I say? All in that part where I say, tell me if I lie and tell me if I joke. When they them take a baby and them cut the baby throat, cut the baby belly and put in a leaf of coke. You see them find the baby out of the airport.
Yes, a true thing.
And a baby them a thief round you know.
So what you say? Elephant man I watch my food. And I watch my eat.
Oh, I watch so much man.
Well, that
man foot favor drumstick.
Why am I watch? He is a foot watcher.
He's a foot man, you know.
All right, brethren.
Yeah.
Give thanks.
Last year I love to the whole world, because them are listening up on the internet.
Yes. And you too. Hey, your tune just gone off Japan, Australia, and Germany a while ago, you know.
You see it.
All right, brethren. You don't record it and it's gone over there.
That's a 2 FM.
All right.
Keep the strength going, Mr. Young.
All right.
All right.
Yes. Yeah, man. Restore Benji, man. Restore Benji. Yeah, that is a brethren, I mean, I tell you, say. Him next brethren is me and him go for clash up because of that tape there where you don't start about. You know, it's a serious thing. So we're glad for the clarification, brethren.
Right now, selling the operating.
Yeah, because them piece has modesty. Yes. When me don't know, you not get no money off it. We do, but it's what we have to know. It's going to put to rest all of these things now. This night, tonight, we're going to put to rest all of these little follies, these little foolishness. Yeah. What is that, Chris? More? Chris, understand talk, so. All right, Chris. Yes. Yeah, so that put to rest, that concept. The brethren who make the tape is here in the studio with me. This tape is in question. We're not questioning what is on the tape, we're questioning who is on the tape. The brethren says he made the tape. We don't have no feelings to say is His Majesty on the tape, because that obviously is an accent from the Caribbean. The brethren wife, as a matter of fact, the sister on the tape became his wife eventually. So we put to rest that. This is the cutting edge.
Arrange my bullet.
Okay, all right now. We want to go into this thing, you know. You ever hear about the bottomless pit? A whole heap away who have Christian minds, we hear about this bottomless pit. In the Bible, we hear about the bottomless pit. We hear the preacher talk about the bottomless pit. What is this bottomless pit that they talk about? Or from whence cometh this concept of a bottomless pit? Well, we want to engage you in the origin of the concept of a bottomless pit. All right. The bottomless pit had a different origin from that of Hades or hell. Its geographical position was a fancied one beyond the South Pole. The bottomless pit was fancied one beyond the South Pole. This location grew out of the persuasion of some of the ancients that their dreaded and devastating winters came from that quarter, and hence the evil god who produced the winters, known as Winter God, at the seat of empire there. A circumstance which facilitated or contributed to this superstition was that of its being beyond the purview or reach of the natural vision. And as it was apparently situated below them, and they could not conceive of its having any bottom, they hence call it the bottomless pit. Winter was supposed to come from the south, because it was observed to come upon them as the sun receded southward, which some imagined had some agency in sending the winter, and the sun going down below the horizon out of sight in the Arctic regions, so as to result in darkness, was supposed to or fancied to die, but it was born again or arose from the dead when it reappeared in spring, or arose again above the horizon. And as it approached the gates of spring, the Lamb of God, or the Lamb of March, gathered up the sins of the world, or the sins of the winter, and bore them away. And bore them away. And thus was realized astronomically, not only, quote, the Lamb of God taking away the sins of the world, but also the death and resurrection of the Son of God, or the Son God, S-U-N God, more properly. While the South Pole was the great bottomless pit, the fancied abode of demons and devils, and also the synonym of everything evil, the North Pole, as the supposed residence of, quote, the good God, was called, quote, the mountain of the Lord, as nearly every nation had this mountain of the Lord, or holy mountains. That is where the bottomless pit concept come from. It was geographically referred to as the South Pole, because that was where the winter, let's say, grew from. The evil God who produced the winters. A serious thing. Did you know that that was it? This is the cutting edge. We're calling this program The Origin of Things.